Hello everybody, Ian Robson here, and welcome to another edition of Texas. Alright, we got what's going on today. If you recall from the previous episode, we planted field 14, and we started planting field 11, and now they are both ready to go. One problem we have though now is this field's kind of far away, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to invest in a auger wagon, or overloader, don't know why they call it auger wagons here. We're going to invest in one of these so they don't have to truck back and forth with that single, trailer every single time. So I'm going to reset that. Yes, please. Or deliver, I mean. Yes, I do have this guy right here. Perfect. What we're going to do is we're going to get this guy moved over there, and then we'll move the semi over there. And then we'll get started on the harvest. So this is of course just the in-game one. I've been looking around to see if I can find some other ones, and so far the ones I've found have been just reskins of this one basically, which is a bit unfortunate because I'd like to see some more variation, but a lot of what's coming out in terms of mods right now is just a reskin of something, and that's primarily because the information hasn't been released. I think I've mentioned that every single episode. I apologize. It's funny, I guess I'm just waiting for more mods to come out. I'm excited to see what they're going to bring out, so I suppose that's the reason why I keep mentioning it, I guess. I don't know. Makes me laugh. Alright, so this field's actually a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I didn't realize how long field 14 was. And then I started planting on it, and I was like, oof. Or oofda, some people say. I don't know who says that, actually. I think it's Dirt Heber says that, if memory serves. So I got the combine set up here already, and he is going to get started momentarily, I suppose. This guy can just stay right here. Question is, do we want the straw? I think we will, mainly because we can sell it for quite a good penny. So what we'll do then, if we're going to do this, is we'll do this. Just drive in here for a quick sec. This is field 14. There we go. And what we'll do is this. I don't know if this is going to work or not. It should. What are we at? The field 14. 13.6. Can I bring that down? No. Starting corner is the southwest, heading north. Headland, no. Doesn't really need a headland in this scenario. Perfect. And let's save this as F14 Combi. And there's a reason why I'm doing this. I'm kind of curious to see if this is going to work or not, to be honest with you. First waypoint. Combine, oh, that's combine self-unloading. Nope, we're not doing that. Alright, let's see if this works. It should. Yeah, so it does. There we go. He's gonna get everything? Yes. Alright, so let's turn the straw on. There we go. Perfect. Like I should do his thing now. This is good. Let's grab this truck. I actually adjusted how much this truck actually carries, so now it only carries 75,000 liters. Originally, I thought the reason behind the truck drifting or the trailer drifting was because of the size of the trailer. In the end, it wasn't that at all. It was actually something completely different. I mentioned in the previous episode it was just the type of tire. Whoa, that was a big turn. It was the type of tires that it was set up for. It was actually just an XML fix in the end, which is really strange. David Oldfield helped me out on that one. Thanks again, David. Much appreciated, sir. So yeah, it was just a quick little fix, and he was actually also saying like this particular mod's a wreck apparently, in terms of what needs to be done to it for it to work properly. Kind of made me laugh. He was like, yeah, it could use some work. And I'm honestly not surprised by that much. Primarily just because It did look. It did seem as if it was a convert over, like a quick convert. Nothing. Nothing but they put a crazy amount of effort into it. It's hard to say really, but the original mod probably had a lot of effort into it, but hard to say now. Let's go ahead and set up our cruise control here because he's almost full, looks like. Perfect. Apparently, one of the cool things I forgot about is that you can actually adjust the spout at the end here. So it will, let's just do this. You can actually adjust the spout here at the end, so you can make it go like up or down. So if you want to make it so it shoots out the, I guess changes the angle of what that the grain comes out of. So you can make it so it aims down or outwards more. It's kind of cool. You can also adjust the reel itself and raise it and lower it. I know some people have told me that is way too low. So having said that, let's do that. Because you don't need it to like, because if I had it this low in real life, I'd basically be like smashing stuff. So you don't need it to like just, I think it's the main idea behind it is just to encourage it to go, to make sure it gets into the actual cutters themselves, or to make sure it's not lost, I should say. So that's my feeling, at least. There we go. Perfect. Yeah. I know we were going to get a new tractor instead, but I think this is a better purchase at this particular time, because we're going to be harvesting this field more than once, and it'll be a nice little, it adds another little bit of, I guess, a different element to the game was what I'm going for. And that's mainly because if we were to truck it back and forth, we would probably end up having a combine sitting in the field for a while, which is something I definitely don't want. If we can avoid it, at least. That's the idea. One can only hope. Alright. Let's check out some of the comments from the previous episode here. I put out a little tutorial the other day. A couple people asking about how to change the horsepower requirements on a vehicle. So more than one person asked about that, so in the end I ended up making a quick little couple-minute tutorial showing people how to do it. It wasn't, it's a quick little fix actually, so seemed like a lot of people were pleased with it. Alright, where was the last episode here? Alright, problem solved. Yeah, I was actually kind of interested to see how many people were actually curious about how to do that particular change. I guess it's because either A, they have a vehicle they want to change, or B, they want to use the Massey Ferguson itself, for example. And actually, there was a really interesting comment left by somebody the other day. Was about the math behind how to figure out what horsepower the change was. It's actually kind of interesting because he broke down the math and showed me, like, well, this is the reason why it's, 135 horsepower. And after looking through the math, it actually made a lot of sense. I was like, oh, I guess that makes a lot more sense. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. There we go. I have a feeling he's going to be full. He's probably going to be full when he, before he even gets all the way down the pass. I don't know. I'm not sure how they would do that. I guess in real life what they would probably do is, depending on where it was, they'd have to either back the combine up or drive on the crop a little bit. Probably, I don't think that they'd drive on the crop at all, really, if I'm honest with myself. I don't know what farmer would, unless he really had to. I know sometimes, depending on the type of field, like some fields will have like a fence around them, for example, and oh, this is just sliding all over the place. Some fields with fences all the way around them, sometimes you'll have to drive into the field a little bit before. It looked like it bumped something there. Sometimes you have to drive into the field there a little bit in order to get the combine in, but that's pretty typical in a lot of scenarios, so I'm not too worried about it. I guess I could turn this truck off. Doesn't need to be idling there. Yeah, so here's a couple of comments from the previous episode. Chris says, another great episode, man. Glad you got the Massey fixed. Yeah, it was actually, like I said, it was a pretty easy fix in the end, although we've sold it now. We've sold the Massey Ferguson now just because we really didn't need to, don't need it in the end, and it's not a, as more than one person pointed out, they really don't like the Massey Ferguson. Which is kind of funny because sometimes people will, like, I'm sure it's going to happen. Some people will be like, okay, where's the Massey Ferguson now? Oh, just the way it goes. Time for a sip of coffee. It's early morning. It's actually Christmas Day, believe it or not. Christmas Day. It's if you look up here, that's the time it is right now. 6:36 in the morning for me, and I'm recording a farm sim video on Christmas Day. So Merry Christmas, but this will go out way later than this. So happy belated Christmas, I guess you could say. He's gonna be full soon. So it's kind of comical. I'm almost always the first one up in the house. I can't really get around that too much. I just end up waking up really early, no matter what, basically. So because of that, I'm up early on Christmas Day, doing the same thing I would do most mornings, which is record a farm sim episode. Kind of odd, I suppose. Most people try to sleep in, but I try to sleep in. 5:30 sleeping in for me these days. The other day I slept into 5:30. I was like, yeah, 5:30. But doesn't happen very often. This morning I woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Tried to go back to sleep. Laid in bed trying to fall asleep until about 4:30. And then 4:30 rolled around and looked at the clock and I'm like, I guess I'll get up now. I guess it was just before 5 o'clock I finally got out of bed, but I had been up for like, or you know, somewhat awake for a long time before that. I'm just strange like that. I don't know, lately I'm acting more like an older person. I don't know, it's kind of a stereotype, but a lot of people who are older in age tend to get up really early, and I go to bed really early and I wake up really early. So for example, it was like 8:30 and I was getting ready for bed, which is kind of, you know, probably a bit lame, but I've done both the late night thing, I've done the early morning thing, and for whatever reason, early mornings seem to agree with me a bit more. So nowadays, I go to sleep around 9 o'clock at night and wake up at anywhere between 4 and 5:30, it seems like. Not even with the alarm either, that's the funny part. Like when I have to go to work, I wake up at 5 a.m. every morning, but last little while, had a week or so off. And it's been every day, 5:30, waking up sometimes about 4:50, 4:30, depending on the day. But I don't sleep in much, not anymore. I think that's primarily because I drink coffee. So what happens, interestingly enough, here's a little bit of physiology for you. What actually happens with coffee is your body becomes physically dependent on the coffee. So if you don't have the coffee, your body won't function at its 100% optimal, which is why people look really tired and look terrible when they don't have coffee in the morning. Because their body hasn't got their normal injection of coffee, so to speak, or they haven't got the normal, there's something not present in the body that there normally would be, and that's the reason why their body isn't functioning at 100% efficiency. So because I drink coffee in the morning, and because I drink coffee so early in the morning, if I don't wake up at that time, my body's like, whoa, wait a minute, there's no coffee in your body? Come on now. Anyways, that's how that kind of works, randomly enough. A little bit of tidbit of information. Alright, Ross says he's crossing his fingers for a MacBook Air for Christmas. That's a pretty pricey gift. That's awesome if you get it, though. I'm just happy to I'm just happy to spend Christmas with my girlfriend, I guess. Most days, if I want something, I just buy it myself. But I don't know. I'm not a kid anymore, I guess. I guess when you're young, you kind of have to rely on your parents for some of those high-priced gifts, for example. But once you get older, you just end up buying it for yourself, unless you can't afford it, I suppose. Like, for example, today's Christmas Day, as I mentioned. Did he miss any down there? No. Today's Christmas Day, as I mentioned, and tomorrow's Boxing Day. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably look at some computer parts and see if if anything twigs my fancy. So I know Hitman82 is looking to buy a new computer as well, so it'll be interesting to see what we have and what we compare. Let's see what we end up with. I don't know how much he's willing to spend, but I'm kind of on a, I wouldn't say a tight budget, but I don't want to go over $1,000 basically. You can get a pretty decent PC these days for under $1,000. It's pretty surprising, actually. It really depends on what you want. Like, the only two games I really play a lot of is Farm Sim and Minecraft. So I don't think I really need like the super top of the line computer this particular time. But I could easily drop, you know, $500 in a new i7 processor, but we'll see. We'll see what's on sale. Technically, I still have an i5 processor right now, which is kind of the comical thing. But I have like the way it works with processors. This is kind of a really technical talk. But the way it works with processors is like the different generations. So right now I have an older generation on an i5, and the new like I have what they call a Linfield, I think it's called. Linfield i5 760 2.4 gigahertz processor, and now they're up to like 4 gigahertz processor, to give you an idea. So I'm kind of I'm like two generations behind, and I was reading a couple articles a while back, and one of the things they suggested was don't upgrade your processor unless you're like 3 generations behind, or if it's like unless it's a 3 generation increase, which makes sense. But so we'll have to see. I'm curious. I have an Intel right now, and I was considering doing an AMD chip just because I was a bit curious about the performance difference and if I could notice the difference between the two. One of the differences between the two is that Intel has basically 4 cores, and AMD right now has 8 cores. But the difference is with Intel's with 4 cores, there are 4 more powerful cores. And what happens is certain games only use a certain number of cores. So, for example, as far as I know, Minecraft only uses a single core, and Farm Sim I have no idea what it uses. There probably are some technical forums out there about Farm Sim, but I haven't seen any yet. But most games only use 1 core. Although there are some games coming out now that have that are using more than 1 core. I think oh shoot, what's it called? Not Far Cry. One of those newer games that has come out tend to use more cores. So as games and programs and whatnot use more cores, the AMDs will start stepping up. But right now, it seems like Intel's the best bet for most things. Although they tend to be a bit more expensive, so it will be interesting, that's for sure. Ted asks, have you considered a large number of cows? Well, I guess he means have I considered a large number of cows, like a couple hundred, I suppose, something like that. Actually, I was watching a video the other day, and a guy in Scotland said he milked 900 cows. Actually, it was Grassman. I know TCGG Rob has pointed those guys out to me before. A couple of people have in the comments. But I was watching the Grassman video the other day, and they had a guy, I guess they were doing contract work for him, and he milks 900 cows, which is just insane. There aren't many farms that big that milk that number of cows. Obviously they're out there because that guy said he milked 900 cows, but I don't know how common they are. I'm guessing not very common. Just a guess, though. Harvey asks, where's Westbridge Hills, by the way? Westbridge Hills, I guess I still have the save file, so I still can play on Westbridge Hills if you guys would like to see, if you'd like to see me continue in Westbridge Hills, that's possible. But like I said before, 45 episodes is quite a lot on Westbridge Hills, so I don't think we will play much more on that. I think what I might do is I might leave that for like a live stream map, just because I like the map. I don't know why. A lot of people hate it, but I haven't found a lot of other maps that I really enjoy yet. Actually, I've been looking at a couple different maps recently, and I found a couple ones that I actually like, and I might use them as a second map. A couple of them have pigs on them, which is really cool. because pigs are something that isn't too common yet, but I've seen them on a few maps now, which is good. Gotta hit those brakes. Sheesh. Alright, so this... There we go. So this guy should be at about 50% I was going for. So because it's 75,000 liters now, I have to keep that in mind, because it's going to take about... This thing holds 34,000 liters, so 2 of these will basically almost fill this guy, so... Almost, though. Not 100%. So... Mohammed Abdullah, I think his name was. He asks, first of all, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Sue. And he asks, can you do a small tutorial on how to fix the Massey Ferguson? So yeah, like I said, more than one person asked me how to fix the Massey Ferguson. Oh, is that full? No way. Oh, it is. Oh, well then. Let's go do a little run with this then. So the nice thing about using a semi-truck like this is the fact that you can hold a lot more in a single go. And if need be, I could have the auger cart there, or the overloader, do its thing while I'm doing the trucking. It's possible. So as you can see, let me do a little demonstration here. So if I take this little turn here, as you can see, the trailer just follows behind me. It doesn't do what it used to do and slide all the way around. So there you have it. It works again. It works properly, which is good. So thank you once again, David. Yeah, like I said, I adjusted the quantity, how much this trailer held, to a bit less, just because I thought it was a bit more realistic than having or being able to hold 100,000 liters. So I changed it. It looks like those tires aren't turning at all. So I adjusted that. I think 75,000 liters is a bit more realistic. I don't know. There may be. I don't know. I don't know how often or how big trailers normally are, but maybe 75,000 liters is not realistic. I'm not sure. But as far as I know, it's not a terrible amount. There we go. Let's up over this guy again. Imagine that combine's getting full. Yeah. So I did the tutorial for those people who asked. Oh, he is full. Shoot. So I did the tutorial for those people who asked. And so you should be able to use that tutorial for any of the tractors you want to change, basically. So if you want to change a tractor to a lower horsepower or adjust it down, you should be able to do the same thing. What else do we got here? This guy's got the longest name. He says, I love GTA, add me on Xbox Live is his name. And he was saying that he would like to see like alternative series, so like one day or 1 week one map, 1 week another map sort of idea, or every other day, something like that. So like I said, more than one person thinks that it's a good idea. So, and that's one of the reasons why I've been looking at other maps, of course, is to see what other possibilities are out there in terms of maps and whatnot. So, he also asks about the elderly iron guy I mentioned a while back. I gave him a link to that. Actually, he just released a funny video the other day. I was watching YouTube because I saw the video, obviously. Anyways, and he released a video. He was doing a grand prize, a contest for a couple of items that he had. And he, instead of drawing the names himself, like from a hat, he used goats to draw the names. And what happened in the video is one of the goats picked up one of the pieces of paper and then decided to start eating it. And he had to actually reach in the goat's mouth to take the paper out and ended up cutting his finger. It looked pretty nasty too, actually. So he ended up taking the goat got a chunk of his finger basically. It was bleeding pretty bad. But he got the grand prize winner. I think it was a camera. I want to say it was. It was just funny to watch. Because he was in the I think he did a couple captions on the screen. And one of the things he said was, "This would be one for this is definitely one for the outtakes." So, at the end of the contest drawing, he did like a couple funny things. Like he was trying to chase chickens out of his barn too, and they wouldn't stay out. Man, just was not his day trying to get that done. But it was funny to watch. That's for sure. There we go. Let's hop back into this guy here. Bob also says he'd like to see a map that's more European. That's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for another European map. Well, I found a couple that I like. I just need to make a few adjustments. Not necessarily to the map itself, but more just to the mods I have. Because some of the maps require certain mods. So for example, with the pig mod, to give you an idea, sometimes the pig mod needs a specific mod for it in order for it to work properly. Oh, I guess I'm way off there. Jeez. There we go, that's better. Yeah, some maps need like a specific mod. For example, sometimes they need the, oh my goodness, what is it called? The placeable pig and beef fattening facilities. That's what they're called. That's at least what they're called. Sometimes that's what they'll need, or sometimes they'll need map door trigger, which is basically it's a mod that allows you to open doors. That's what it really is. And there's a few other ones you might need. There's a water mod, water trailers. Oh, this guy's full, I guess. So I haven't done much with a water mod, but basically it's giving water to your animals, so I think it's fairly self-explanatory, but maybe it's not. I don't know. Alright, here. Perfect. Alright, so I think we'll end the episode there. I'll finish off the rest of this field off camera, I think. And then we'll come back next episode, maybe, and we'll start on the other field. I planted barley on both of them. I didn't mean to initially, I just happened to plant it. I guess I forgot to change it, but whatever. So now we have barley on both of these, so we'll have a good amount of barley. We even have a good amount right now, I think. We have 75,000 liters, so that's $741 a ton. We'll probably make a good amount of money. So there's the pigs right there, as you can see. So some maps do have pigs on them. This one doesn't, because there's nothing that you can sell pigs at. And lime. That's interesting. Anyways, that's for some maps need that as well, so I think it's called the Manure Lime mod by Maru, I think his name is. Anyways, before I keep babbling on about random mods, that's it for today, folks. My name's Iain. Robson has been Farming Simulator 2015, coming at you from Texas. Catch you guys later.